Guys, welcome back to the iPod. Welcome back to the podcast that talks solely about men and becoming a man and being a man, right, live from a man's perspective. 2 sides and vibes. Eddie Coombs in here as always. Today we have our graphics guy. Man,
no, you didn't reduce some creative director. Hey, I beg.
It's almost like when you call a security man a gate man.
Yeah, he go back to you. Autocorrect. Or you call a minister without honorable.
Or you call a photographer photo.
Hey, then go correct you one time.
Charlie. Sorry, graphics. Director.
That's a bit
creative director, man, joining us. Guys, what's good?
I'm good.
How are you, bro?
I'm okay.
The kids?
Everybody's fine.
Wonderful. The kids? No be today. No be today. So let's talk about marriage. Honestly, I think this is an all important topipic for men. Yeah. Marriage. Yeah. Look, let me stretch my crumpled
Ghana weddings.
We are rare species.
No stereotypes.
By our creative director.
We are rare species. Guys, get your red t-shirt. Available where?
Everywhere.
Amazon.
Shopify. Link in bio.
Anyways,
guys, that's right. Link in bio.
It's marriage for everybody.
No, I don't think it is. Thank you very much.
You all can't say no like that. Then it isn't a podcast. What is your idea of marriage, bro?
My idea of marriage. I think it's basically 2 people who decide to live their lives together. Decide. Emphasis on decide. It's not me who decide, because I feel like marriage goes beyond what we see now. The nice TikToks and the nice pictures, and I've gotten the chance to be close to a lot of married people, especially around our age now. That Charlie, it doesn't look appealing to me. I feel like my environment is affecting how I see it.
2 people who decide to live their lives together, who decide
to join their lives
together.
Yeah. And the 2 shall become.
Interesting perspective.
One.
Man, you?
Well, I side with Eddie. I think if you talk about marriage, it's a big decision. You can't just get up and be like,
way too huge, man.
I want to marry. Are you ready to get married? That's the question you ask yourself. Are you ready to live your life with this one person? That person has perks. That person has things that you are going to hate one day. Are you going to say yes to all those things?
Let me come back again and ask. Yeah. Do you want to get married?
As of now, no.
It's not as. Do you ever want to get married?
Sometimes it looks nice.
Is he Eddie's dodging a question?
No, but deep down, I don't. I'm okay.
You have questions.
Will you ever want to get married?
At some point, yeah, probably.
So you're not clear right now. You're confused.
I'm not confused. I know I don't want it, but I also feel like I might get to a point where
you would want it.
Not want, but I might just, these things hit you when you least expect. That's what I think. I might just meet a girl that I would be so into, want to bring to my home.
So it's your decision to get married will be based on a person.
Who?
So it's a person.
So
the fact that you don't like marriage right now means that you haven't met anybody who
currently, exactly. Nobody makes me want to get married.
When you said that, you don't think it's about love. You said it's not about how I feel about the person.
So when I meet someone, I decide. It's not just how I feel. I have friends that I have very warm feelings for right now that I could say, I could open myself up to like. But I'm not sure if I want to bring them into my space. I've lived alone for 9 years. Let me just give you one example.
You're saying a lot of things in one.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you reasons why marriage doesn't really look appealing to me now. Let me tell you something about my ex. I had a long distance relationship, right? I've lived alone for 9 years. And then whenever she came to Ghana, I would wake up in the morning and somebody did my bed top. I feel like my space is being invaded. Right? It's a major thing that people don't talk about. I hear a lot of ladies saying, I ain't no bad, now we in a tired and I know I to baby. But maybe she is very organized. When she was at home, and even when they were about to FaceTime, she would make sure she looks clean and all that. And now you see a woman walking around the house. Are you ready for
don't like that idea? is it man? Is it a sharing of space with another person? I think that thing is it's a big deal for me too,
bro.
I don't know. Is it every man or is it just a few of us?
It's not just. I feel like even women. Some women find it.
It's more. I feel like you should be able or comfortable to share your space with that one particular person, right? You can have someone in your life and be in your space and not invade your space.
You know what? I want to take us back, okay? I think our minds have been shaped about marriage.
Yeah.
So we're all answering the question the same way. Number one, who says that when you're married, you have to be in the same space? We are saying it right now. Oh, sharing this. Who says? Why is marriage...
Would you want to get married and live separately? Some people have enough money to get separate bedrooms.
That's why I asked, what is marriage? What is marriage? Like, what is it?
So I already implant your Pro Max.
No, everybody has their own definition of marriage.
I think so.
So it's by definition.
I think so.
If you're talking about definition, yes, individually,
because people
everybody
have open marriages.
Yes,
where they are even able to sleep with other people as they wish.
So we need to understand marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we bring it to
people even have contract marriages.
2 years, 5 years, we finish.
Let's talk about I'm talking about general marriage. No.
So marriage as we know it.
You know what? Marriage I don't want us to get into the Christian perspective.
From an African perspective, from a Ghanaian perspective.
You know.
It's basically two people, nice wedding, Oma Boka, Amukufium Kututi Avendes Neka for the next 2 years or Brenia Mani Hunukwane.
That's the marriage of this generation.
Standard.
I'm telling you, bro.
This generation marriage.
Sally, vendors, they chase them.
So, Eddie, is it just because you've not met the person who wows you?
Yeah, for me. That's where I am. Like, I feel like...
So you're ready for it?
I'm nothing that interests me again. Like, I'm just there. And I'm okay. I feel like I'm in a very good space. Right? Mm-hmm. In my career. I'm in a very good space mentally. Because I had to fight to get myself back after my previous relationship. So I feel like it took too much from me for me to be ready to commit again. I don't know if you get me. Because I need to be mentally prepared. I don't want to bring someone into my space when I'm not ready to accommodate them fully. Because I know I'll feel the butterflies and all that, but it goes beyond that. We know that. So I don't feel like I'm in the space where I want to wake up next to someone, ask for permission to do stuff. I'm okay.
I want to hear, man. Yeah. Man, you have one or two?
I have 2 kids.
2 kids.
2 adorable girls.
Okay.
Oh.
And he's a church boy. Oh. So I'm first of all, did you get any? Let's go to the church. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you get any pushback from the church in any way? Or you have kids, you're not married, why? Mm-hmm. Even if not in the church, your parents, family, for some reason, were you at any point forced to, just marry this person that you're having the kids with? Yeah. Did you get that?
No. My dad was furious, yes, because my girlfriend at that time had gotten pregnant when I was in my final year in uni. Mm-hmm. And before I entered that final year, my dad spoke to me and was like, this is your final year. If you go and get a girl pregnant, I'm going to disown you.
Bro.
He said this to you?
He said this to me.
Bro.
So,
that's some
final year, like, ending of first sem, like, my final year, like, I had to let my dad know that I had gotten a girl pregnant.
First of all, when she, how did you get the news? I want to know how you got the news. Where were you? What were you? I'm just imagining.
Is it mine?
That we need to talk. Did you get that?
Yeah.
You got that we need to talk.
To be honest, yeah, I'm the kind of person, if I'm with you, I kind of like steady you.
Yeah.
So I realized that this month you're supposed to have your menses. You're not having your menses.
Hey, I approached it. You get spy cam date.
No, that's me. I like to know stuff.
I should say download the app with it.
You follow up. What with the app name?
So Flow River. So I realized that it's been like a month. I've not seen you. Like you're supposed to flow and you're not flowing. So I asked her. She was like, "Oh, this thing has changed." I'm like,
"Cycle has."
It doesn't change like that. So what's up?
What's the problem?
So I gave her money to go to the hospital. She went to the hospital. She came back. She was like, "Oh, doctor said I'm pregnant." I'm like, "Okay."
She didn't know.
So that was the question I asked her. Didn't you know? You should feel something. Yeah. Like, I felt like she was hiding it, right? So,
or maybe it was difficult for her to be.
I don't think it was difficult. So, long story short, She's been pregnant for like a month.
Whoa.
And she had already told her mom about it.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
So now, me, I just finished uni. You're about to give birth.
Yeah.
There's no money. I'm not from a rich home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm from a very, let me say, not really balanced, but like a poor background.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So look at me, no job. How am I going to take care of you and raise a kid?
Pampers alone.
And I was living in a room where you can count from my window to my door with your footsteps.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was bad.
Wow.
Now, I was like, see, we can't keep this. And she was like, I've already told my mom, in my house we don't abort, blah, 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 blah.
Difficult, man.
And at that time, I didn't know God. So, like, my whole world had shattered.
Yeah.
My dad had disowned me. I couldn't call anybody.
Oh, he actually did?
Yeah. My dad disowned me for a year. I had to, like, make pastors. Like, people had to beg
Charlie.
this man to be able to talk to me. And when he started talking to me, I had to communicate to my dad through someone. He wasn't talking to me direct. It was bad.
This is a man you looked up to.
He left my own crisis.
You know,
I had this friend who I always say he's like, let me use the phrase ride or die. His name is Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Dennis. Dennis held me down. He would come to my house. I would sit in front of my house. There's this bridge. We would sit there. A grown man like me, I was 22 then. I would cry.
22, you're young. It's okay.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I would cry and I'll be asking this guy, Charlie, what's the step? Look at me, no job. How am I supposed to be taking care of somebody's daughter? And this guy would give me hope, like everything will be fine, everything will be fine. Eventually, he started inviting me to church. That's where I discovered God. So I started praying. There was this time I went to church, and my pastor is called Pastor Spio back then, Breakthrough Prayer Chapel. It was Rescue Gospel.
Ching ching.
Charlie.
Ching, ching.
So Pastor Spio, there was this time we were having, I think it was a revival. He called me. He put his mantle on me and prayed for me. And it was like, your story is about to change. So me, I wasn't believing in God. So my story is about to change. Charlie, maybe I'm free. No, Charlie.
About soon.
Charlie, how is it going to change?
Story and
So
how is it going to change? So,
like,
from the time he placed the mantle on me, and this is what happened after a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking one night, like, in my head, and this man called me. From nowhere, he mentioned my name. And growing up, I was called Nee.
Okay.
And when you call me Nee, that means I know you are
from way back.
Yeah.
So the guy called me Nee, and I turned my back and I looked at him. And he was an old man. I walked up to him and he tapped me on my shoulders and he said, my son, you're about to give birth to a baby girl who will change your destiny.
Random old man.
I looked at this man very funny because that night where my mind was
Two different things.
Charlie. So I was astonished. I couldn't ask him any question.
Yeah.
So he said it. I looked at him for like a few minutes and I walked away. Right. When I was going, somebody said, turn your back. I turned my back and this man wasn't there. Now,
I'm not go feast.
So I came back home after the night walk. I came back home. I was sitting in my chair. I'm like, who is this guy? Because I was pondering. And I feel like this is the first time God actually spoke to me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was asleep, and I had this very weird dream that I had given birth, and before the delivery date of my little girl, I got a job. Right. I went for the interview. I had no qualifications, to be honest. But this lady gave me a shot. I went to the interview with top guys from Nesto and places.
Yeah.
So we had to do a test. We did a test. All this was a dream. So I woke up and I was like, what kind of funny dream is this?
Too real, eh?
Charlie.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, I've been submitting applications and I had this call. This lady called me. I was like, oh, you submitted the application, so we did a short listing and we want you to come in for an interview. I went for the company was Actexel Limited, Atosu. So I went, did the interview and everything. It felt like a deja vu.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I've been here before, but like, I don't remember. Finally, fast forward, I got a job.
In real life?
In real life.
Okay.
In real life, I got a job again. I said again, sorry. I got a job. So after the dream, before my girlfriend went to deliver, the name Kendra was in my head. Funny enough, Kendra means prophetess.
Wow.
And
you got biro. I won't write them.
So one thing about me is that particular Kendra, I don't joke with her. Like now that I stay very far from them, like when I go visit them, I always tell her to pray for me. She sees it as a joke.
Your girl.
How old is she now? She's 6.
Wow.
I'll be like, pray for daddy to go home. And she put it like, daddy, God bless you.
Oh, bro.
I take that thing so serious.
Charlie, your man you make her own born.
I take that thing so serious. And to be honest, after Kendra, like my life took a turn. Like I started getting gigs, side gigs. I was working.
Look at that.
I could be able to send my mom like 200 cities. Back then, I couldn't even send it like...
You go collect safe. He be go collect.
So, like, I started changing life for me and I would say for my mom, because my dad was like, okay, so, but like my mom's side was really bad. So, like, I became a supporter and everything. So...
Were they together?
No. So like, it was amazing.
It's interesting. Very, very interesting story you're sharing. I know we're talking about marriage, being a man, whether I want to get married or not.
I needed that story.
Me too. Trust me. Me too. But it also, so I'll digress a bit. I like to digress a bit. Have you ever? I don't know if you're like me, but have you ever gotten to the point where you feel like maybe I should just have a child?
No.
Maybe I should just have a child and not necessarily focus on marriage. So and people usually in your ears say, Charlie, if you don't want to get married, you they grow. Get someone picking for somewhere, 2 kids somewhere, and then if later on in life you're 45, 50 and you want to get married, you can always do it. Have you ever has anybody ever told you that?
Actually, one of the reasons why marriage doesn't even look attractive to me now is because of kids. Here's my reason. I'm being the odd one here.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, I've seen genuinely happy couples become disgruntled because now, let me give you an example. Imagine you had so many date nights with your wife. It was just the two of you. You could have sex all over the house, have the whole. Then all of a sudden, 4 a.m. and some baby jump into your bed, mommy, daddy. It's like that. Privacy is gone forever, right? Now comes finances. You are not feeding 2 mouths anymore. 3, 4, 5, whatever the number is. If you, the guy, or your wife is working in a place that doesn't review salaries annually, or you don't get blessed enough to get another job, you are going to depend on that money that was feeding 2 people. The reason why I'm saying I haven't met anybody that wows me, because I want to have these conversations before I commit my life to someone, right? I'm earning 5,000, you are earning 5,000, 6,000, whatever it is. We are going to spend this amount of money for ourselves. What's the plan when we have a third person? Let's assume no new salary or no new money is coming in, where this is what we have. This is our base income. How are we going to split this money now to feed 4 people, to feed 3 people? Where are we going to live? For how long? What's the plan? Basically, that's the question. What's the plan?
Yeah.
Now, ladies are going to hate me for this, but I meet girls, right?
You meet girls.
Pull down.
Mr.
Eddie contact list.
The girls I meet through Eddie. Eddie say, meet my friend Godwin Ambo. Meet my friend Godwin Ambo.
So I meet girls. Eddie get only one friend will be guy. The rest will be women.
I know they understand. Guys, I will feel they enter polished. I will go sit Polish plus Eddie small. Then somebody they making nails.
See, my wedding day. If I'm married, I didn't need ushers.
That's why you have all those girls in your life.
So
girls, people they listen.
so the funny thing is, I meet girls, right? Sometimes I deliberately ask the question, how are you going to improve my life? 90% of the time I don't get an answer.
Of course.
Because I'm established. I live alone. You know, I'm living okay. DB. I'm okay, right?
How are you going to improve my life?
Yeah. What are you coming to add up to my life that it's so
I like that
nice?
question. What are you going to add up?
Yeah,
that's what a partner is supposed to do.
Yeah. So like,
a wife,
what's going to change?
a
Like,
helpmeet.
right? Something I should
Add.
feel your presence. Like I should feel your impact, and I should also impact.
So
you.
perhaps when we're thinking about marriage, should we start thinking about that additional thing
I saw a
somebody's bringing
tweet.
to
One
our
lady
life?
was like, before you decide to commit to anybody in marriage, ask yourself if this is the person you want to train your child, raise your child.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is this the lady I want to? Right? So it's like some people are nice people, but they are just not yours.
Can your wife will not be happy with you right now?
Triggers. so I really ask that question a lot, like, because I'm not blowing my horn, but I know what I can add up to you. Trust me, I'm so self-aware when it comes to that. You know, I know where I am in life, and I know what I'm going to give to a lady when I bring her into my life.
I like what Adi said. I don't know about you. He said the question is, what are you going to add to my life? I don't know why it's so profound for me, because I think that's who a partner is supposed to be.
True.
Adding to my life.
True.
You know,
You can't just be
you
there,
come
because
and meet
then
something,
what's the
but you
difference?
must have something for the person to come and add to it.
Exactly.
Right?
Because as a guy, you are working. You want to better your life. So let's say you have a good job, it pays well and everything. Your life, you are very comfortable. You are okay. If I should bring a lady into my life, you need to be able to add something into my life to tell me that you are the one I want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Half the
But
time,
if you can't add
sex, what he left.
because after sex, then what's there again?
Are you going to help me
After
plan
sex,
my
you
finances?
sleep.
That's
See,
the thing.
So mostly the answer is I'll comfort you. And
it's true.
I can get
Most-
that in a
most
girlfriend.
women-
I could get a sexual partner if I want, if that's what it is.
A man can buy everything.
You know what? So it brings me to this question. Okay, now I want to understand the difference between marriage
And
and
partnership.
partnership. You know, marriage as we know it, even from a Christian perspective, and partnership, because aside the legality of it, where you know you go and sign and all that, and wear a ring, and maybe the man of God laying hands on you and blessing you. Aside that, what is it that marriage gives you that having a partner doesn't give you? Because I was listening to a wise woman and she said something. He said, "Look, marriage has a way. I don't know whether it's cultural or societal, but marriage has a way of changing our minds, ideals. So you have a girlfriend, you love her so much, you know, you guys do everything together. You know, she's your girlfriend." There are certain things you can't demand of her because she's your girlfriend, you know. But as soon as marriage comes in, it changes everything.
But then
It's
they
almost,
will bill you before you go become.
it almost feels like you own this person.
Yeah.
So ideally, your girlfriend or somebody you really, in fact, let me not say your girlfriend, somebody you really like, a partner. You guys like each other. You guys can see that there's a vibe. You know, you go on dates, you do all that. You can't question her. Yo, where are you? You know,
I
but
think
as
it
soon
could-
as
it
that same
depends.
person,
Accountability.
accountability for what? You come on, you
So
don't
what's
just
the
get
point
up-
then?
You like wait, you're gonna, so you like someone. You
I
know the
can't
person
call
likes
and
you.
ask where you are.
No, it's not. I'm not saying where are you.
Yeah,
Like where are
yeah.
you? That's okay. Like, hey, where are you?
Yeah,
It's okay. But I'm talking about,
Demanding something.
you know, like where are you? You can't do that. You understand? You make requests. You don't demand. But in marriage, it's almost like I'm your husband. You have to obey me.
I think it's the same in marriage.
You have to do that. You have to.
I think it's the same in marriage.
No, that's what marriage does.
Yeah.
But in partnership, in where you know that this girl is not my mind, we like each other, we have a vibe, I like to be with her. You can't do that. You can't do the same. So why should the person sell that freedom
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
When, okay, you want to have sex, I'll give it to you when I want to give it to you. You understand what I'm saying? This is a partner. You can't force, hey, but I like you. You can't. But once she's your wife, and my wife says she's not giving me, you know? And I think that's what the problem,
right?
So what really is the difference between marriage and just partnership with somebody? And why can't a person say, look, I want this person to be my partner, not necessarily my wife?
I think as Christians, we all come from
So
Christian
it's
backgrounds.
religious. It comes from...
You know, I think that's what we've been told. Having a partner, and you won't worry because more chimpna.
In other words, sell your freedoms.
Basically, like Bring us your freedom.
Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Why am I selling my freedom?
Preach,
Why
bro.
am I selling my freedom?
Preach, bro.
Why am I selling my
Where is the
liberty?
liberty? Liberty professionals. Eh?
There's no liberty in marriage, is there?
Man is a deep thinker. I like the way
It's quiet.
I feel like I tell myself this. Once you get into a relationship, you look at it from a marital perspective, right? Because what you tolerate. So that's why it's a decision.
Bro, the woke feminists are there now. They won't allow you to.
That is why.
Make a cook
That
for
is
you.
why. That is why. That.
Berlin conference. Go ahead. If it will go. If it need more.
The thing is, I always say this. The things you are doing for yourself without your partner, right? Once a lady comes into your life, you should be able to do all those things, regardless.
Yeah.
She owes you nothing. You can't go and tell her, cook for me.
Of course.
Wash for me.
So what's the point?
Man, when she's coming to visit you, you sweep, you clean, you wash the dishes, you lay your bed, you do all that.
For look nice.
Now that she's yours, you're saying that we should divide.
You see, the thing is, if you do all those things, even without a lady present in your life, it's not like a tax that you have to do whenever she's coming. You need to be yourself. If let's say your girlfriend is coming to see you and you've not swept your room, why should it bother you that I have to look a certain way for my girlfriend?
Because that's the pressure we give ourselves.
You see, that's the thing. You put yourself in that situation.
No, but these are
then again,
habits
it's also
you cultivate, like you said.
presentable. When you come to my house,
Maybe on the first day, you want to do that.
If I got a girlfriend right now,
these are the people
that
that
doesn't
will
lay
get
the
married.
bed. That doesn't lay the bed when she wakes up. We will fight. Because that's me. I'm organized. So now you've come into my life. I like where you took it. I like the angle you took it from. Like, if you already do these things for yourself, then you should be able to do it. So why do I need her?
Whether or not there's a lady in your life.
So why do I need her then?
Let me tell you something. There was this time I
regardless.
was having a conversation with a friend, and I was like, one thing about me, I don't let a woman enter my kitchen. I know how to cook. No matter who you are, I will cook.
Allah, mixologist.
If you want to cook, and you tell me, oh, today I feel like cooking for you, fine.
Yeah.
But I do everything myself.
I know I'm about your jollof.
Charlie, small. The next episode, just garnish on a table for you.
Doing house chores and all those things, they're like my favorite things to do. I remember when my kid's mom, I was doing all those things. I didn't feel like it's your job to do.
Yeah.
You see me with a baby on my back doing Pampers stuff and all those things.
Do you think people have this basic understanding when they're going to marriage?
It's something you have to learn for yourself. Nobody can teach you all these things. I wasn't ready to be a father. I downloaded books.
Yeah.
How to understand kids, how to understand a woman when she's pregnant. Because they have tantrums. They will do things that will vex you.
Charlie.
But you need to build up your patience. Nobody will tell you to do all those things. Other than that, you go mad.
So you learn on the job, right?
Exactly. You learn on the job.
Hands-on.
Nobody can prepare you for all those things.
I want get in perspective too. You make ready.
Imagine
what he just.
Imagine you're in a labor ward. Imagine you're in a labor ward with the mother, somebody who is about to be the mother of your kids, and she's kissing you, telling you things you've told her in secret, and she's vexed about it. Can you stand it?
Well, you went through that.
The guy be mama now.
You putting her in so much pain.
Jesus. Jesus.
She hates you in the moment because of the pain. Right?
I'm telling you, my brother.
Kabaya.
For me,
So these things.
the one reason why I would want to get married, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Not all wives.
I like that verse.
And obtains favor from the Lord. It be the favor I don't want.
True.
So I feel like that's what would draw me into
I
wanting
have
to
the
commit.
exact same reason. That is why
It's the favor.
It is
I
not
feel
the
like there's
sex.
certain things that man gets right now because of his kids that
Yes.
God would never give
Yes.
to me.
Yes.
You need to understand the verse he said what?
He will
Finds a wife. Not a girlfriend though. A wife. So if I
How
see
do you get a wife without the,
I'm coming.
the girlfriend?
If
courting?
Senior.
now
When
a
Paul was
wife,
writing the
a
scripture.
wife,
Tell Paul be deep.
a wife
tell
is a
you.
material.
Okay.
You understand?
10
It's
yards.
a material.
Senior,
So you the lady,
you hold on. You see when you drop this thing.
Tell you
Hold
for
on,
make we
listen.
take on me. Give we time. Make we process that thing.
A wife is a material.
material.
A girlfriend is a what? A fabric.
Akosomo textiles.
Okay.
So the lady has to portray certain qualities.
As a girlfriend or as a wife?
As a wife material.
As a girlfriend, so you can make her your wife. Okay.
Now, where she is coming,
You're changing the scripture. Are you?
No.
When you meet,
because the feminists they talk something different. So like, why do I have to prove myself to you?
now you're going to meet her as a friend first, right? You get to know her. You get to know the way she thinks. You get to know her way of life. There are certain qualities she's going to portray. You're going to be like, this is the one for me.
Yeah.
When you don't see those things, that's not the person.
And it usually doesn't feel forced, right?
It doesn't
because she likes you enough to want to do those things for you.
People say, "Oh, I'll change when I get married." You can't change when you
What
get
we
married.
Some Rema right now.
You can't change when you get married. Everything you are now is what you are bringing into the marriage, into our life. So if I don't see all those things, we are not taking that step. So, you are not the material I'm looking for.
So if you have to wait for 45 to 50, we'll still wait.
Yeah, bro.
That is why you can't have one person and you are focused on one particular person who is not portraying all those things.
So I can be in
Charlie,
multiple talking stages.
Cast your net. Cast your net, my brother. Cast
Thank
your
you for
net.
the green light.
The men of God and
Thank
what
you
they
for
are
the
telling
green
us.
light.
Cast your net.
Thank you for the green light. Multiple talking stages.
One of my dad friends.
Let me tell you
told
something
this
funny.
thing.
Not to cut you. When I broke up with my ex, right? I was in the ICU last year, as you knew. So I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but she never called me. Not once. I had friends.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had friends that were cooking, bringing the food to the nurses for me. And because it was a COVID facility, you can't see me. You have to give it to the nurses in their PPE and everything. And then I was fighting to hold on to this relationship. That was basically not giving me anything, right? So I told my sister about it. My eldest sis, she's in Fargo. So I tested her, like, I sent her a whole paragraph of what was happening, sent her screenshots of my conversations with my ex, how she was asking for another chance and everything. And my sister was like, young man, do you know the number of guys in America washing panties for their wives because the women were the ones to bring them, you know? And I told her everything that had happened, where I faltered as well, because obviously I wasn't perfect. But she was like, you know what? Nobody changes in marriage. It actually gets worse. Whatever you see now is what you are going to get. If you are not lucky, it will depreciate. So me thinking something she wasn't doing, she could change, maybe because I'm not being husband yet. That was my mindset. And that was what she was giving me, that you are just my boyfriend, right? My sister told me that it's good I ran away. I made the right decision because there is no way nobody changes in marriage. And the married people could possibly tell us, maybe we could get a senior married someone to come and talk to us about this, because I feel like I have too many questions.
It's true.
Too many
marriage.
questions. Too many questions about marriage, and we'll get to that. But now that we are still finding out whether or not we want to get married,
I want to know if he wants to.
Time is up, please. Time is up.
We don't go close to that. Do you want to get married?
I mean, just like you, I know that I will. I will.
At some
I
point.
would.
At some point,
I will.
yeah.
But for no,
Yeah,
I would
you
or I
would,
will.
you would.
I would.
Yeah.
Would one and you will.
Yeah, would.
There be a future, so I will.
You would.
I know that I will. I know that I would. Okay. I know that. I know that I will.
English for it.
I know that I.
You will.
Yeah.
You will. Yeah. You will. Makes sense.
But as it stands, I have same questions.
Yeah.
I have lots of questions. I feel like there are a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot.
Yeah.
You know, and until I do that, it's gonna be challenging. But I want that favor you were talking about,
Bro.
I want that favor. I mean, this is from the skits, not from marriage. So I want that marriage favor as well. So whilst we're still figuring that out, on our next episode, I think we should talk about why men like. My mom told me this. She says she said that she thinks that men usually like what they can't get. We like
The chase, eh?
Yeah, we like
we are natural hunters.
We like the trouble. We like you see a woman
but girls
who
do like
loves
bad
you
boys,
so
though.
much. I don't think so.
Hey!
Not entirely.
Girls, they
Women
like bad
generally
boys.
don't like bad boys. They don't
like-
generally.
I feel like
One
it's
crop
their-
of women,
I feel
one
like
age.
it's their fantasy.
It be the fantasy. The guy waits to know if he gets no.
What kind of women have you guys been around?